Hello guys, this is the-epiphany. In today's video I'm going to be showing you the tutorial for Crocoburio, which is the 6th quest of Ebony Dofus quest line. I bought an Ebony Dofus a few weeks ago, but now that I'm doing the quest and when I finish the quest, I'll be keeping the quest Ebony that I get and I'll be selling my old one for profit. This is a pretty hard fight. It's definitely this one or Bulak are probably the two hardest fights in Ebony, and without a doubt it's harder than any solo fights in the Ivory Dofus questline. There have been many tutorials for this fight on YouTube, but none of them are in English voice commentary, which is why I've decided to make the video. First things first, since I'm doing a quest for the Ebony Dofus, it would make sense to not use an Ebony. So I'm going to replace that with a Dokoko. Next, we need to understand the basic mechanics of the fight, which I will show you now on the Dofus Poles Noobs. A link to this page will be in the description box below if you want to check it out. And I'm also going to be linking to you my questline summary and final Ebony Dofus fight against Grugal or Arsala, who is the final boss at the final quest of Ebony, as well as the questline summary for the whole of the Ebony Dofus questline. That is all in one of my videos and I'll link that below as well. Okay, so Crocoburio has 6 MP and he has 4 spells. The first spell is simple, it just shields himself for 1 turn and has a 3 turn cooldown. The next spell does neutral damage and rapes your dodge for 2 turns, and that spell is linear only, and if he's within a linear range of you of 6 squares, he can use it on you and it's going to attract himself onto you, kind of like a Sacria's Ravager's spell. The next spell is the Chance spell, which is not as strong as the others, but it reduces your range by 3 and 10% erosion for 2 turns. The spell has 8 range, so if you maintain a distance of 9 squares or more away from Crocoburio, you should be fine. The last spell does earth damage and reduces 100 MP, and you can't unbewitch it. It only lasts 1 turn though. So, puts you in a state of neglect. I think that's a rooted state. So that prevents you from attracting yourself towards something else, or it attracts or prevents something else from pulling you, and so on. And that has a turn, 2 turns cooldown. So those are the spells of Crocoburio, and we need to understand the mechanics of the fight now. As soon as you enter the fight, you're going to get 2 spells, one that will summon a Crocoburio sword and one that will pick up a Crocoburio sword. And there are 3 phases in the fight. The first phase is to get Crocoburio below 7000 HP. He will then become invulnerable. What happens when he becomes invulnerable is that he's going to summon a Crocoburio strength, which is a flame looking thing, and you're going to need to summon the sword next to the flame so that the sword will kill the flame. He also summons 2 crocodiles, which are basically 2 monsters that have 1000 HP each, and those monsters will just help Crocoburio do damage. So, you know, it's best to kill these as well. And once you have killed the Crocoburio strength, it will basically become vulnerable, and then the next phase of the fight, you repeat the process until it gets below 5000 HP. And then lastly, repeat the process again below 2500. Once it's below 2500, you've put the sword next to the Crocoburio strength for the final time. It will then kill the sword and it will kill the Crocoburio strength and kill Crocoburio as well, and the fight ends. So you don't actually have to get him to 0 HP. For the fight, I will be making some slight modifications. I'll be using Burning Glyph. I usually use Perception Glyph for my fights, but Burning Glyph, I'll explain why later. I'll be using Truce instead of Backup. I'll also be using Tension. Now, this fight is a difficult fight, and some classes will find it easier to beat compared to others. The Chance Fecker is the easiest type of Fecker to beat it because, you know, you can use tension to push Crocoburio back and deal damage. I'm an Intelligence Fecker, and I have to use tension every turn, which costs 5 AP to keep him back. It's the only way to do it because I've tried this many times and I've you know, tried to figure out the best strategy. Okay, so let's start the fight. So we just jumped into the fight and we have gotten 2 new spells, one that will summon the Crocoburio and one that picks it up. Now if you remember, I said that one of its spells has 8 range, this chance spell. So you want to calculate its MP and make sure that you don't start somewhere or end somewhere that it can reach you with 8 range. So Crocoburio has 6 MP, so let's say he walks here. And I am currently 10 squares away from him, so he will not be able to hit me. So that's what you got to keep in mind. Alright, let's start the fight. You notice that he summons a black glyph on his turn. If him or any of his allies or I am on that glyph, we basically get 25% range resistance. And so that's why you want to hit him first, and then you push him back into the glyph. Yeah, so he'll get 25% range resistance when he's on the glyph. But as for me, I will actually get gravity state. So you gotta keep that in mind. Okay, so he's got 6 MP, he's gonna go there or something, and that's why I ended here, which is 9 squares away, so he can't reach me. You notice that when you start your turn as a black glyph, you don't want to go back on that glyph because you lose 2 MP and some damage. And that's the reason why you got to be careful, because if you lose MP and damage, that's unfortunate. Alright, so he has 6 MP. I'm guessing he's going to go here. So we need to end 9 squares away from him at least. That's why I went here. Yep, 9 squares away, meaning he can't do damage. Alright, let's get him below 7,000 HP. Okay, that's the aim. As we know, the first phase of the fight here, you need to get him to lower than 7,000 HP. And he will summon the Crocoburio Strength, and he'll also summon the 2 Crocodile Warriors. Okay, so he has 6 MP, he's going to go there or something. And that's 9 squares away from where I am now, so that's fine. Alright, he gained 4 MP. Yeah, I forgot to mention. On the turn that he summons the stuff, he actually gains 4 MP for a turn, so I've got to be careful about that. Okay, so now that he's summoned this stuff, he's invulnerable, and we need to put the sword next to the strength. The reason why I'm using Burning Glyph is simple. These Crocodile Warriors become quite annoying, so that's why I use this and teleport, so that they, you know, die. And they lose some HP there, so on their turn they'll die. Alright, I'm going to put the sword here. Also going to shield myself. Alright, the sword will kill the strength. He loses invulnerable state. Oh, okay, it's unfortunate that one survived a bit. Yeah, but I can kill it anyway. Alright, you need to remember that once the sword has done its job and killed the Crocoburio Strength, you have to pick up the sword with the second spell. Once you pick up the sword, the first spell becomes a cooldown of 3 turns, so you need to remember that. Okay, I'm gonna hit him and push him back. He range raped me, so my tension spell had low range. Lastly, I'm gonna run here. You also notice that the black glyph he summons is bigger than the one that he did at the start of the fight. That's supposed to happen because it's now the it's now the second phase of the fight. So now the next aim we need to do is get him to below 5,000. So that's what I'm gonna do. Be careful not to end in the black glyph or walk on the black glyph, because it'll you know, it'll reduce your MP. So once again, I'm ending 9 squares away from him, like that, so he can't push me. Sorry, so he can't hit me. Right, next. I'm going here and I'm gonna push him back. Spells are not critting, unfortunately. Okay, did I screw it up? Nope. I'll still be 9 squares away from him. I'm not using an Abyssal Dofus, but if you have one, I highly recommend it because it's it makes things a lot easier. Alright, see, so he's still 9 squares away, so that's what you got to keep in mind. Unfortunately, we have to hit him while he's inside the black glyph because we can't prevent that. And for some reason, my spells are not critting, which is unfortunate. Okay, let's see, 6 MP, so he'll go here, so, okay, I'll be fine here. 9 squares away. Okay, he's now below 5,000, but it doesn't hurt to hit him a bit more because the following, after phase 2, you need to get him to below 2,500. So, you know, if you do some extra damage now, it'll be fine. Once again, you need to get back to ensure that you end 9 squares or more away from him. So he's going to go here or something, which is, I'm 9 squares away. So his spell that's 8 range will not reach. Yep, there we go. He didn't gain 4 MP that turn when he transformed, I don't know why, but it's fine. Okay, so another thing I need to mention about these Crocoburio strengths is that when they, if the Crocoburio, oh, it changed his name, did it? Okay, Crocoburio power then. When the Crocoburio power reaches Crocobur, he gains like thousands of HP healed, so you're basically back to where you started, and the phase, you know, you go back a previous phase. So that's why you want to, you know, kill this power, Crocoburio power as soon as possible. Yep. I see how you're in phase 3 now, and the black glyph that he makes is a lot bigger. So once again, we need to pick up the sword. And I'm gonna... Okay, so I have minus 100 MP from him because he used his Earth spell. Oh. I think in the website, when it was talking about the neglect state, it's actually unhealable state. Okay, anyways. Barricade. Do damage to the sword. So, sorry, not the sword, the crocodile. Because it becomes a bit of a nuisance. Okay, so now, yeah, I'll, do damage. I think that was a bad move. I don't think that is even gonna die. Yeah, you see, when he reaches you, he does quite a lot of damage. So you want to be careful about that. Oh, okay, luckily it died. Okay, so Rampart and Fake a Shield. The black glyph he makes is humongous. So even though I'm using a 4-leaf and I hit in melee, it might actually be more effective than hitting at range. Because of the range resistance. So hitting at melee is not bad either. Okay. Alright, I'm in rooted state, so I will run. Because rooted state means you can run. Okay, so I'm going to hit him. And also going to push him back with tension. The spell he has that has 8 range is actually doesn't require a line of sight, so he can hit me from 8 squares away anyway. Or maybe it does require line of sight, I'm not sure. But, okay, I'm going to bash in myself. Alright, he is now below the 2,500 HP mark, which is the 3rd phase. So he should be summoning the sword, summoning the Crocoburio power and summoning the crocodiles. Yep, there we go. Alright, the spirit is right here. Okay, so what we need to do now is put the Crocoburio, and when that kills the spirit, I'm pretty sure the fight ends, because you don't actually need to get Crocoburio's HP to 0. But just in case, I'm just going to barricade myself. Yep, the fight ends. Alright, that was my tutorial on Crocoburio. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions about the fight, let me know below. I can give you some advice depending on what class you are, because I have experience with many classes and I know how the spells work. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.